Is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. I'm Sweets. This is Sid. This is our midweek check-in where we cover what we've already shipped and what we hope to achieve in the rest of this week. I'll kick it off. I am working on a big redesign of how we scrape. In order, the main goal is to support segments. In order to get segments, a prerequisite is fans. In order to get fans, a prerequisite is saving data into the fans table. So I've set up the table already. I've started writing data into it. And my first blocker is we have been hard coding webhooks into the Apify interface. And we need to chain these together in smart ways. And so I'm currently redesigning the entire backend API. Sid just transferred a repo so that I can use it with background agents. So hopefully by the end of today, I will have done all of the big architecture migrations for us to be able to support the webhooks and how we want to chain those together with Apify. I will probably, after today, I'll be putting this task on pause and then picking up the other task of embeds because my meeting with Excellency is on Friday. And so in order to prepare for that, I'll be building that out for the rest of this week. This morning, I was wondering what the best build is. Is it an iframe? Is it a package? Which are the two things we considered for SyncStream? I'm leaning towards just an API. I'm leaning towards just opening up our chat API for now, building a custom chat interface into Excellencia's site. And then just whenever you hit enter on that chat, it hits Recoup's chat API. It uses Recoup's tools. We hard code Excellencia's account ID and artist ID so that it's using that context from that artist. We will still get notified in the Telegram chat of the new chats. So I think that'll give us the best of both worlds where Recoup still gets all the traffic flowing through and Excellencia gets all the tools that we've been building. The main thing I don't know if we necessarily planned correctly is we started this week and gave me 2 tasks. Both of those tasks will likely grow bigger. And so we'll likely be ending this week with 2 half-completed tasks. There's a reminder for myself that if we are in our Friday calls and we try to throw more than one item in my backlog, be very firm that we focus on one very important thing rather than dividing our attention amongst a bunch of things and then watch as none of those things actually get completed.
Good observation.
How you doing? What's on your side?
My side is good. I'm literally just going line by line in Telegram, populating the database with old data. So that is going good. Up and right. It's going good. I shipped the error to tracking errors in Superbase. So we should be getting errors now logged in Superbase as they come in.
Have you verified that?
I was not able to get an error to run, so I have not been able to verify it. I even tried calling a bunch of tools, and it just kept giving me results that were not errors, which is good. It's but trying to figure out a way that we can verify that.
We got an error less than an hour ago.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I don't want to.
It was Anthropic rate limit.
At what time?
2 p.m. 1 p.m. your time. An hour ago, less than an hour ago.
I'm gonna figure this out. I'll verify later. I'm in the middle of this. But yeah, I can verify later. And then I had a great call with Seb from Warner UK, who's now who was Warner Records UK, is now global at Warner for audience. Really great conversation. He heard about Recoup from Sam. Sam's been telling everybody in the building. He also said that he heard about Recoup from a higher up, not through Sam. So other people was finding it, and it's good because it's just, I guess it's going through buildings and stuff about people being interesting. I think like being the only AI agent for the music industry as our positioning, I think has paid off. In the beginning, I was wondering, is it too niche, and is it like, do people know what AI agents are? But I think it's paying off because now agents are getting hot and people are like, I need them for music. So long story short, with him, he's going to play around with it, and then we're going to touch base when I get back. Had a call with Carolyn, who wants to start positioning Recoup. They're looking for investment, so she wants to start positioning Recoup as like an add-on for her Big Ass Kids platform. And she had mentioned the idea of like rev share for distribution, which I thought was interesting because it goes directly with what you were talking about with like, instead of selling tools to labels, just become the label that does things better. Which I like that idea. The question is, you know, what are those guidelines for like when we accept rev share versus not? But anyways, I thought that was a really interesting play of like, okay, there's an option where we could like, you can use Recoup for free, but we get a percentage of your masters or whatever, your et cetera. So anyways, just playing around with that idea. But the main thing is getting everything updated into Superbase with the errors. And the next thing I want to do is be able to track messages. I'm sorry, not messages. Recurring tasks or scheduled actions. And then I also want to be able to start tracking agent clicks, like agent card clicks. Because right now I'm realizing that I have no insight into like which agents are people using the most, you know, which features are people using the most. And so that's the next step of tracking and metrics. But other than that, everything's going good. And we can talk more about going into Q3 tomorrow. I know we have a longer convo. And going into the Steph call, I'm just excited to jump on with her and show her YouTube and get her feedback.
For the scheduled actions, you already have all the data in the database that you need. You just need to read that data and populate it into your Founders dashboard, right?
For this V1 of how many scheduled actions are being used, yes.
What's your implementation plan for agents, being able to track how many times they're being clicked?
Parsing the initial chat message. Because they're like, if they click a card, the initial chat populates with the prompt. Mm-hmm. And so just, I figured the easiest lift is if prompt is X, log in Y.
And you'll put that inside of which?
I'm just going to create a Superbase table for, you know, agents or prompts or feature. I don't exactly know what I'm going to call it yet, but.
Talk me through your thinking between making a new table versus expanding your existing table.
My existing table is specifically for when you say my existing table, you mean my error, which table?
Agent templates.
So agent templates, my existing table is to create and display them. So yeah, I was gonna just create a new table so I didn't mix and match. Just kind of separate the two use purposes of the tables.
From a relational standpoint, why are they separate? Like, why put them separately? What's the benefit we get by separating them as opposed to putting them together? Because in my mind, they're a one-to-one relationship. You have a template, and you have the number of times that it's clicked. So I'm trying to understand, why would we decouple that data? What's the benefit we get by decoupling it instead of expanding the table? If you make two tables and you want to display on the screen or sort it based off of what has the most clicks, you're going to have to query two different tables. As opposed to if you just if you expand the existing table, it's the same number of queries, no slowdown of the human experience, and you just get more data.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about that. How would I do it if I want to query it by who clicked? I would have to add more info to that table.
Which I guess is based off of click, then it is no longer a one-to-one. Why do you are you tracking how many times it's clicked, or are you tracking who is clicking the things?
I was going to track both.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying. Is that if we just track by clicks, that's probably a good starter place. It also allows me to then sort by highest rated or most used, which would be nice for the user interface anyways. So that's probably a better place to start. And then after that, build out, well, who's clicking what and why? Because my ideal scenario is like, okay, product managers at labels are using these agents more often. Artists are using these agents more often. And like, so batching by user and then user by, type of user, and then figuring out how people are using for what purpose. But again, that's down the line. So I like the challenge of just keeping it in the same thing. So we'll start there. But I know we have the Steph call, so let's jump on it. And then
stuck around this long, give us a like, give us a repost, give us a comment. We'll